to Glass Ceilings, episode 2. Tell me about yourself. When people say they know Judy Parker, who is that exactly?
Judy Parker is a Christian woman of faith. Our most enduring word is Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good, for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. I grabbed that word, and it's been my word for almost all my adult life. It has kept me sane no matter what. I'm a storyteller. That's where I live. I love to open my life up with stories and share my journey, share those nuggets of wisdom that have been dropped into my life with others. I'm a writer, and I write mostly for inspiration. I'm a bio sister, the youngest of my siblings, and I am a soul sister. I'm unapologetically Black. I will speak on any topic, race, religion, politics, from that perspective. I'm a child care provider. I'm a nurturer, protector, and that brings me great joy. I love doing that. I love being at ground zero for a child's well-being, and giving parents a peace of mind when they are school or work, knowing that their child is in good hands. I'm a faithful friend, or I could be called one who never meets a stranger. I'm always looking for an opportunity to allow the kingdom of God to show up in the world through me. One of the last things, but not the least, I am an avid Goodwill shopper. I am truly the Goodwill queen. I like looking my best for a whole lot less.
Okay, that was a great answers. Okay, where are you in your life now? Spiritually, emotionally, economically, whatever way you can think of that you just want to answer that question. Where are you in your life today?
God always moves on my behalf in whatever concerns me if I keep my relationship cool with people. My spirituality causes me to see things from a God's perspective. It activates my compassion. It activates my empathy. It gives me a God awareness. Even though he is the creator and the sustainer of the universe, he's in me. Economically, I haven't taken the conventional path towards financial stability.
Interesting. Interesting way of saying it.
Before giving my time over to another company, somebody else's business establishment, I asked myself, what's your gift? And one of them was, I'm a natural nurturer. So God told me to present my gift to the community, and he would make room for me. I started my own child care business of services, and I know it's my calling. It's what I was called to do. For years, I would say, I wasted all that time at that hospital, but I learned never to say that. Wherever God places you at the point in your life, because I had gained relationships and met people along the way, that's where you're supposed to be. But then I found myself and found my calling and being a nurturer for child care services. I know it's my calling because I wake up every day renewed to do it. I haven't got tired of it yet. I love shaping and molding, growing lives. I take it very serious, what I do, and giving them just a good start.
Okay, what's your definition of success?
You know, I've always been a person of modesty. I think success is knowing your divine purpose and fulfilling it. I know just as a believer, in that day, God is going to be looking for my completed faith. I think it's exercising your gifts and finding joy in it. Having a family, for me, that has been a part of my success. And not only having a family, but a family that all my children have their own relationships with God. And we know how to be a family. We're not perfect. We don't look for perfection. But we know how to acknowledge when we're wrong, say I'm sorry, ask for forgiveness. I think that's one of our, as a family, our greatest successes.
Do you feel like that having that definition of success, is that something that you grew into, or is that something you feel like was just innate for you, like you started off feeling that way about what success would mean to you?
I pretty much started off that way, and maybe it was because of who I married. He's a very spiritual man, you know, and his family are spiritual people, and so normally the worldly things that people, you know, determine what success is. My mind has always been geared towards the spiritual things, intrinsic values, wisdom, and knowledge, and being kind, and all those things. I've had to redefine success, yes. And when I did that, I just had to assess my life and not accept the mediocrity.
Do you feel like success and relationships are hand in hand with you, or do you feel like you compartmentalize the two?
Well, we know, and a lot of people, a lot of couples in society, their success, they have achieved a lot, so much that we measure success. But we know that behind what we perceive to be successful, there's a lot of entanglements could be going on.
Oh, yeah.
And so forth. But after being married for 40 years, a marriage that works, when things go wrong, we don't want to get gone. I just put it like this. I used to always say, if you want a good life, be good, kind, and gracious to your wife. If you want a good man, you got to be able to stand. And I mean through the good, the bad, the ugly. My husband, we don't compartmentalize. Everything is together. I mean, we're one. And it just weaves and mash all together. So for me personally, it's together.
Our definition of glass ceilings is an invisible barrier such as mental health, complexes, trauma, and any other strongholds or thoughts that negatively affect the individual's capacity for success or trajectory for success. You know, can you define what a glass ceiling is for yourself, or using that definition define something that has been a glass ceiling for you?
You know, because of the death of my mother, it kind of permeates throughout my life and affects, even now, 40 years later. One of the glass ceilings that I dealt with was a fear of rejection, abandonment, and then just how to get through the stages of grief. You've got shock, denial, anger, sadness, sorrow, to get to the other side of that, one of the things I learned was you can't skip over each process. Grief demands its due. It makes you pay up. You can't get over it. You can't get around it. You can't get under it. And that was a glass ceiling that once I broke through it, and it was because of my growth in spirituality and understanding that life and death is as thin as the air we breathe. Just because a person isn't here in the flesh and present, just like Jesus, they become invisible. They're spirits, but they're still present. To start operating in that realm where I could feel my mother's presence, I could get to her in conversations, even though she wasn't present. That was like a glass ceiling for me to break through that after years. When you lose someone, when your loss is profound such as that, it takes years to just accept it. For years, I wouldn't even go to the cemetery because it was such the reality of it would set in. So it took me 10 years to even get to the cemetery for a visit. It took several more years to still work through all the emotions of that. I got through the other side of it. That was one of the ceilings that I broke through.
That's incredible. That's incredible. You really feel like you just spiritually you broke through being able to perceive and connect with and communicate
Yes.
with your mother on the other side. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Considering everything that we talked about so far, and the things that you feel like are your calling and your purpose in life and that you connect with when asked to explain who you are, what are some projects that you have on your heart and on your spirit that you want to take up?
I've got two books that I have completed. The first one is called Rain. It's 365 daily affirmations to water the spirit. And I have that book completed. My other book is 1,000 Years of Wisdom and Counting. And it's all the encounters, not all of them, but significant encounters that I've had with people on my journey and the lessons that I've learned and the wisdom that I've gained. That's completed. And it's just a matter of going through that process to get it done. I need to get that done.
I'm excited about your projects. Of course, I've read some of the books and everything. I'm glad that you said that out loud. Why do you think you've had some resistance on undertaking the process? Publish your book, release your book into the world.
I guess it's really three simple reasons. I need to go through the editor process. I haven't been through that process yet. Finances. You gotta have finances. And to just make a choice of how I want it distributed.
So those are the practical things that you need to do. Do you feel like there's a resistance to do those things because you've never done them before?
Probably a little bit of both. I haven't never done it before. Procrastination plays a part. Sometimes I can get easily distracted with the cares of just living.
The dope thing about this moment, or what my intentions are, is just to be able to imagine a reality where you've broken through that resistance, to imagine yourself with your books that you've already completed, already released to the world, already being read. Considering that future that we're imagining, what's a word of advice that you could give to someone dealing with struggling with a glass ceiling that's preventing them or causing them to resist completing what they feel like is a purpose project that they have in their life?
Some of the advice that I could give just through my own experience would be don't be afraid to be vulnerable, be persistent, and be consistent.
What do you think it will take for you to take that advice and break your glass ceiling?
I'm ready to be accountable for my gift, because a gift does not belong to you. It's just like God gives us children. They come through us, but they don't belong to us. I'm ready to be responsible for it and accountable to others for it, myself, in the community.
Could you share with us an excerpt from your book, 1,000 Years of Wisdom and Counting?
Sure. This one is my cousin Leo, before he passed away. It said, death just gonna have to come and kill me. If death doesn't teach us anything else, it should make us keenly aware of life. The loved ones who remain after someone dear to us has departed should inform our conscience to embrace them all the more. That was my intention when I got into a closer relationship with Cousin Leo, also known as the teenager. Sometimes we have a tendency to ignore our elders in our lives. Some may even feel they just don't have much value. Where's their strength, vitality, vigor? I'm one who believes if a person pays attention to his life, it's always better at the end than the beginning. Patience, wisdom, and knowledge will supersede or negate all that has been lost in the physical, which brings to mind my cousin Leo, who had a battle with cancer. Leo had been in remission for quite some time, when suddenly on Christmas Day, instead of experiencing all that was good, he seemingly was about to begin his journey of all that could go bad. Yes, indeed, Mr. C, cancer, had returned, and with a vengeance. By the spring of the year, he could battle no more. However, Leo departed with a few choice words, swings and punches at death of his own, which left an indelible mark upon my life. His doctor had delivered a dreadful report that he only had 3 months to a year to live. I rushed to his bedside with an intention of bringing him some comfort upon hearing the news. I walked into the hospital room, and there Leo was, lying in the hospital bed, hands clasped together behind his head, legs crossed at the ankles, just comfortable. I invite you in to read and listen in on our conversation that day. Leo: yep, Cousin Judy, the doctor came in and told me I have only 3 months to a year to live. Well, just about everybody gets that, don't they? He smiled. You know, Cousin Judy, I've been on this journey of life for a long time, and I've learned a lot of things along the way, especially when it came to God. The first thing I learned to do with God is listen. God's been telling me for quite some time that death would come and not to put any confidence in the body. He showed me subtle ways, like when my hair started falling out and thinning. Then I had to start wearing glasses with bifocals. He removed his glasses from his face to show me the line that separated the lenses, and he smiled. Then my teeth start falling out my head, and he thrust his false teeth dentures out with a quick motion, which caused both of us to burst into laughter. But I'm going to tell you the truth, Cousin Judy. When I really knew it was just about over, it's when that doctor told me I had to use that cane over there. I thought, whoa, your cousin Leo isn't worried about a thing, girl, because I know God has me. The body wasn't meant to last forever. I have another one not made with hands that's eternal, that'll never wear out. And there's just one more thing you should know. I'm not going to be lying or sitting here waiting for death to come and get me. Death going to have to come and kill me. I'm going to fight. He started, put up his dukes. I'm going to fight to the end. I'm not worried, so don't you be. We're going to be okay. We're going to win. Wow, I thought, how has this happened? I came to comfort, but was comforted by the very one I perceived needed comforting. The physician had told Cousin Leo, in his scientific estimation, a time frame of how long his life would remain. However, God has his own time frame. And it's not an estimation, but an exact confirmation that he is the author and finisher of our lives. That evening, his wife Edna called, that very same evening, and stated his condition had drastically changed for the worse. He would be getting transferred to hospice where he could receive comfort care to make his transition peaceful. I was told while lying on the gurney, being transported, Leo looked up to all those gloomy faces that surrounded him and assured his family with his fist raised in a boxing position, and made a declaration and a resolve. Let's fight. It ain't over till God says it's over. Cousin Leo made his peaceful transition the following day from death to everlasting life. By faith, I can see him standing on the other side of life, rope-a-doping, fists raised in the air, in a victory stance, taunting death, with a shout across the river, "Oh, death, where is thy sting? Oh, grave, where is your victory? You knocked me down, but you couldn't knock me out. Because Jesus got up, I've gotten up too." Hey, Judy, I told you.
That was great. Love you too.
Thank you.
To say